Hi, strategic development classmates. Chris Snyder here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about collaboration. Not so much in the sense of external collaboration, as in working with external organizations to accomplish your goals or your mission. I'm talking more internal collaboration and how departments can work internally together to accomplish their goals, their mission, and hopefully create innovation, sustainability. And I'm sure most organizations are already doing this. They may call it teamwork. They may call it cross-departmental collaboration or cross-departmental teamwork, or cross-functional teamwork. And this also plays into this idea of collaboration, but in a much more, I guess you could say, broader context. And I'll give you some examples here. I started with the American Cancer Society in 2013. I was a new, young whippersnapper executive director ready to really change the world. And when I came into the organization, I quickly found that we were functioning in these organizational silos or departmental silos, and it was really prohibiting us from working together as a team. There's almost no communication as to what each department was doing in the local community or who they may cross over, because in a lot of cases, these independent departments were contacting sometimes the same person at the same organization. So as you can imagine, many of our partners in the community became annoyed by this because they didn't know, okay, who's the decision maker over there and who do I really need to talk to? So early on, I started weekly meetings, and I know that sounds crazy. For some of you, you may have daily meetings, but weekly as a team for us in the beginning was needed in order to kind of do round robin and literally go from department to department to see who was meeting with who or talking to who. And in this room, just imagine, we have a really diverse group of employees. So we have individuals working on our events. So 3 different people working on what we call Relay for Life, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, and Gala. And those people are reaching out to corporate sponsors and individuals to be on their committee and survivors and hospitals so that they can be sponsors and maybe be a part of the evening or a part of the event outside of Gala. Then we have major gifts and planned giving, who are working with really high net worth individuals in the community and driving them to our mission to give big gifts and legacy gifts at end of life. And then we have our mission people who are really working at the local hospitals and working with the cancer patients to give them the resources they need, whether that's bra, prosthesis, cap, blanket, maybe access to a clinical trial. So these are really, really pivotal resources that fulfill our mission. And if we're not communicating internally, you can only imagine what it was looking like to the external environment. And it really didn't make us look like the strong, big organization that we really are and continue to be. So with these weekly meetings at these round robins, we would say who's going to see who. And in a lot of cases, we would find that people were going to the same place on different days. And really ridiculous time suck, if you ask me, instead of working more efficiently and communicating. So over time, we really became a much more streamlined and nimble organization at the local level. It made us look more professional, and ultimately, we were continuing to have these meetings because we found great success in it. I'll give you an example of this success. We had a donor who is giving us $40,000 every year, attending our gala. We'll call her Mrs. Smith, and Mrs. Smith would have a table at the gala, and she would come and dance. She would invite her friends. She'd fill a table of 10. It was great. But no one was really getting to know Mrs. Smith. Our major gifts team was getting that $40,000 every year, so they were happy because they were hitting their goals for annual gifts. We knew that she was including us in her estate, so our planned giving people were happy. The gala people were happy because we were getting this $40,000. And my question to the team was, what does Mrs. Snappy really care about? And after conducting a meeting with the closest person to Mrs. Smith, actually I think I revealed her name, needless to say, Mrs. Smith revealed to me in front of our major gifts person who had the strongest relationship that she was a survivor and that she really cared about breast cancer. And I asked Mrs. Smith, I said, if you could actually fund a researcher, and I'm getting the chills talking about this, for 3 years, and be a part of that research with them in terms of meeting them and getting to talk to them and understand, have that personal connection with the researcher that they're funding, would that be something that you would be interested in? And Mrs. Smith jumped to it. Oh my gosh, yes. So that turned into a $200,000 gift to fund this researcher for 3 years. So we were really setting ourselves short with this $40,000 annually. And the big picture now is we can really see and dig deep into her estate and potentially have greater outcomes. And what I mean by that is she may end up giving us $4 million instead of $2 million because she feels more connected now to our mission, which in essence is what she probably wanted all along, but no one offered it to her. And we would have never discovered this if we didn't have these collaborative meetings and talk about who we're meeting with and why it's important and so on and so forth. So, this is just a very small example, but it proves that collaboration can solve some complex issues with organizations. It can make them more successful. It can also foster innovation, as I mentioned, by pulling together teams from different departments. And I'm going to revert to a few notes I have on my screen, so don't mind if my eyes flicker around. But our team went from a $1 million team in 2013 to a $3.7 million team in 2017. And our major gifts in our estate planning department was able to corral and document over $20 million in that time frame. And I guarantee you a lot of that money was because of conversations that were had in that room, because of people that others were meeting with that posed great opportunity. Some research is showing that organizations who are collaborating internally and in some cases using what they're calling technology, technological endowed collaboration, it is catalyzing creativity. It is increasing innovation. It is reducing hurdles and inadequacies between employees because it is bringing their voices together. And no longer are they frustrated because of the lack of communication. So leadership's role is really important in this and promoting collaboration and teamwork, right? We have to encourage followers to utilize all possible resources they have, not just that once a week meeting or once a month meeting. They have to communicate through email. They have to communicate with their phones. I mean, within work hours, right? But in all seriousness, we can become so much more nimble because of access to these resources. So we need to continue, I believe, to promote this in the workplace. So some research that was also done by Federiks, as well as O'Daniel, Rosenstein, and O'Neill, has showed that team collaboration increases information sharing, it promotes creativity, and it can help reduce errors and improve decision making. So I'm going to close with this. The new effect of technology on the interaction with teams and collaboration is going to require leadership to understand how to use and promote these tools for success, because there's a lot of suck time, screen time that our employees are being taken away from actually completing tasks. So leaders of the new modern era must learn how to motivate and care for their teams using these tools that are previously unused and foster collaboration. So that's my message for you today. Spread it, collaborate, because I truly believe that we're better together. Thank you.